Ambitious women, entrepreneurs are beginning a movement to create a new way of business that focuses on collaboration and community. Together, we are shaping the way by using our intuition, our inner insight, and our creativity. Join us for inspiration, motivation, and transformation. This is your host, Luci McMonagle, and this is the Wealthy Wednesday Show. A special thanks to Gordon Reery for creating the music. You can find him on Facebook under Gordon Reery. So now, let's get started.
Hey, this is Luci McMonagle. I'm so excited that you are with us for another edition of the Wealthy Wednesday Show. Today I have a very special guest, and I'm so incredibly excited because if you really don't like sales conversations, this lady is going to empower you so that you are going to start compelling individuals to be able to work with you rather than having to do that cringeal selling. Her name is Shirlene Reeves, and she is a certified financial educator and international speaker. She's an author. She's also a TV radio host who speaks about easy financial principles and specializes in educating coaches and entrepreneurs on the secret formula for transforming their business and massively increasing their income by selling with heart. And as a woman entrepreneur who's listening to this, I know that you have a great heart and you want to make an impact on the world. So welcome to the show, Shirlene.
Thank you so much, Luci. I'm really excited to be here with you today. This is really fun. I just love doing these Zoom interviews. They're phenomenal.
They are. And it's so incredible with technology. I'm able to reach individuals who are on a global basis, and we're able to really bring so much heart and so much knowledge and tips and skills to the world so that we can empower other individuals and empower one another.
Absolutely. I agree.
Wow, you have this incredible ability to help individuals who are coaches and entrepreneurs to compel individuals rather than sell. So can you tell us a little bit about your Compel, Don't Sell? Why did you create this? How did you create this? And can you give us some inside tips about it?
Well, that's such a great question, Luci. I love that question because it took me years to really put that together. And I patterned it after my own multi-million-dollar business that I bootstrapped from zero to millions. And I went all around the United States and some places in Europe too. And I talked to entrepreneurs, and I suddenly came to the understanding that if they didn't make money, I couldn't help them with their financial support, right? There was no way I could help them. So I decided to teach them what I did in sales in order to grow that business, because I was working with very high caliber CEOs and bank presidents, and I had 23,000 people that worked under me at that time. So if I didn't know how to sell, I couldn't work with all of those people. And I thought, wow, none of them want to sell. I bet you know why. Do you like to sell, Luci?
I don't like the idea of selling as sleazy, kind of make somebody do something they don't want. But
Exactly.
I really love the transformation people have when they choose to work with me.
Mm-hmm. And exactly. And if you can just get them to that point, and that's what everybody said. They
Mhm.
said, my gosh, I just really want to help people. I really want to support them, but I don't like the sales process. I don't want to feel pushy. I don't want to ask for money. I don't even know how to initiate the sales process. So I thought, wow, it's really not that hard, because I've been doing it so many years and it's been a natural strategy that I use. So what I did is I developed Compel, Don't Sell, the art of selling with heart. And I even have a little quiz And they go on there and take the little quiz, and they find out very quickly that they only know just how to sell. They don't know how to compel and work with others. And when they learn how to do this, then their clients come to them. You don't have to go chasing after them. I like to use the lighthouse in San Felipe as my go-to thought, because you never see a lighthouse shining their beam and running up and down this beach, right? For the captains, right? So we shouldn't be doing that either. We're running from networking group to networking group, trying to find the captains of the ship so we can get them to work with us. But that's not the way to do it. There's so many other ways that are easier. So, don't shine your beam and then run up and down the beach at the same time.
That makes perfect sense. That definitely makes perfect sense. And can you tell us a couple of little takeaways that individuals might be able to have just before they actually look at Compel, Don't Sell, and how they can look at you?
Oh, sure. One of the things I can tell you is I have a 90-day boot camp after you take the 2-day intensive. And we do it on Zoom just like this. And it's just like a regular event. I play music, we jump up and down. It's kind of fun. And I take only 10 people at a time, and they have to be really serious about their business. They really have to be in a place where they want to really move forward and connect with people. And this last group that I took through in just 6 weeks made $168,840, and it was only 10 people.
Wow.
So that's a pretty nice number. So they can take that away as their first thought. And then the other thing is they'll find it so authentic. You don't learn any scripts. It's all about you and you being authentic and just thinking with your heart and loving the person that you're talking to and getting a chance to get to know them. And they come to you then. You might find that already, Luci, do you?
A lot of times, yes. I do have individuals who will just come up to me and they'll start talking to me, and then they get curious about what I'm up to and what I'm doing, and I just really empower them so that they can think on their own and have thought-provoking ahas and more clarity on what they're looking for.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But there's a way to approach them that really works. And once my students come in, they find out what they've been doing for so many years that didn't work for them, and they didn't know why. You know how sometimes you hear people say, oh my gosh, she's such a hard sell. I have to run and hide when she comes around, right? Well, that's what some of my students find out about themselves, and they learn a whole different technique that allows you to step back and let the other person really shine. And then you find out just automatically what it is that they need, and that makes your sales process so much easier.
Exactly. And really finding out, what do the individuals that you serve, what do they need? So that you can provide that. That is a phenomenal tip. Wow, that is so crucial in not just the sales process, but just in whatever kind of coaching or entrepreneurship you're in. If you don't know what your service is that will fill that need, that problem, then it's difficult to make a business.
Exactly. And it's also easier to we like to say close the sale or go through the sale. A lot of my clients will ask me, well, how much does it cost? And I'll tell them how much it costs. And then I never sell them in that call. Never, ever. Because I want them to go home and think about it, sleep on it, and really have a good feeling when they come in. Because you not only learn how to sell, you receive 5 videos ahead of time that give you an opportunity to take your own profile based on your sales process, your personal sales process. It's one that I developed around the DISC program. I don't know if you've heard of it.
I'm not familiar with the DISC, but
So what happens is then you have 5 videos to learn how you relate to other personality types in the
Mhm.
sales process. So then you always know, doesn't matter who you're talking to, you've already identified who they are and how to talk to them.
Mm.
Amazing. And they do that first. They do those 5 videos first, then they come in and do a 2-day intensive. And then we do the 90-day boot camp. And what happens there is they bring in their conversation, and I literally put words in their mouth, and they go out and make the sale. And they learn at the same time. That's the best part.
Mm.
So pretty soon they don't need me anymore. Yay!
Yes, and that's one of the goals of so many of us who are entrepreneurs and who are coaches is, we'd like to give you just enough so that you can take the training wheels off.
Yes.
And
Your own. I want you to run on your own. That's so.
yes.
But you have to learn the words that your clients are waiting to hear. That's so important. And that's another thing that I teach in Compel Don't Sell is how to determine what those words are. Because think about it, if you're standing on a stage and you have an audience and they're texting and gazing out the window and not paying attention, you're not speaking their language, right?
Correct.
It's not what they want to hear. But
Hmm.
even if you only pull 5 people out of that audience and you make $5,000 per person, that's pretty good, right? But you
Yes.
have to know their language. And that's part of what they learn.
Yeah, and that's really important. And speaking of speaking and pulling people out of the audiences, there's some coaches and some entrepreneurs that are just starting out their career. And what does it take? What is the challenge that these individuals who are entrepreneurs that are getting? How do they get out of the hobby zone to get into the business zone?
Perfect question. Absolutely perfect question. The problem that I see throughout the nation is that we get this idea of what we want to do and we're really
Mhm.
passionate about it. And then we just run out and shine that light, right? We get our cards done, we do our website, and maybe we do some flyers, and we may or may not have a program. Sometimes they don't even know what they're selling. They don't have any strength in their program,
Mhm.
but they get this idea and they're going to help people. And I love that. But the problem is, if you go back to the lighthouse, they've got their foundation. Maybe they've got a certification, or maybe they've gone through the experience themselves. Either way, it's okay. And then they want to just go out and sell, but they don't learn how to market their business. Like I said, they don't know how to speak their clients' words. They don't know that a business card isn't going to do it. It's just not going to do it. People just take them and throw them away. And they spend so much money on these networking groups. And then they find out at the end of the year when they file their taxes that they didn't get any money out of those networking groups to
Mhm.
cover all the expenses and the food that they bought. So they have to think of that column of the lighthouse as their network, their marketing, and their sales. And that's the part they miss completely. They have no idea how to sell. They get some idea, but then they back away, and 8 out of 10 businesses are not in business in 18 months, according to Bloomberg.
Wow.
So if you don't learn the most important part of that column, you don't get to stay around.
Mhm.
And so, in order to get out of the hobby zone, which is what I've been talking about, running around with just your business cards, and maybe a chapter in a book, but not their own book, it isn't going to last. You're not going to see them next year. They just aren't going to make it. And also, they really need to have a springboard. So, in other words, they get laid off, they have no money, they decide they're going to go into business on their own, but they have no springboard of cash flow to keep them rolling. And you know all about that.
Absolutely. You
Yes,
definitely need to have that springboard of cash and be able to maintain your expenses during the lean times.
exactly.
Mhm.
Because it doesn't all just come in and flood in all at one time. And truth be told, unless you get with a coach who can help you develop your programs and teach you sales and that sort of thing, it takes 3 years just to start getting referrals because people
Mhm.
don't know what you do when you don't speak the language. That's the whole challenge right there. That's the biggest. So if you want to get out of that hobby zone, you work on that column of sales and marketing in order to shine your light. Then you can stop running up and down the beach, but not till then.
That's so true. That's so true. And speaking about running up and down the beach and building up that column, that really strong lighthouse, how do individuals, what are your suggestions on how do individuals find clients?
Oh, well, one thing, your clients are everywhere. It doesn't matter. You don't have to go to a networking group. Their clients are everywhere if you learn to speak the language and ask the right questions. That's the whole thing in a nutshell. So, Luci, I might walk up to you and say, so Luci, tell me a little bit about your business. How are you doing? And you're going to tell me all about that, right?
Uh-huh.
And then you may say to me, this is really step one in what I call the sales waltz. You might say to me, so Shirlene, what is it you do? And what I'd say to you, Luci, is, I really work with people who want to ramp up their income and really have a nice, strong business that wants to make a lot of money. But we don't have enough time right now to really chat about this. So let's connect on Zoom or Skype and talk about it. And I'd be happy to share answer any questions you might have. The problem is that we feel that rush of energy. You know what I'm talking about? When people ask you what it is you do, and then you go, blah, 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 and it's done. As soon as you do that, it's done.
Yeah.
So when your clients are everywhere you go, all you have to do is learn to ask the right questions so that you know whether they're your clients or not. And what I teach in Compel Don't Sell is whether they're a client or not doesn't really matter because they know all these other people and they can refer to.
That's true. That is so true. And
I'm sorry, go ahead.
what are some of just the real basic, not to get too terribly involved, but what would be like a basic question? You already mentioned, tell me about you and what you do and how's your business going. Is there another question before you like just go bloop and just say everything? Because this is a waltz, this is a dance with individuals, and it's to build the steps of trust and to build the camaraderie and to build the ability to compel individuals. What is the second waltz step?
It depends on their answer, of course, but if I was going to do some role play with you and you said, here's what a lot of people say. I burned through my 401k and I'm just not getting the business that I was hoping to get by now. And I would say, why do you suppose that is? What do you think might be the challenge that you have around the business that is blocking you from receiving the income or from your clients coming to you or calling and asking for your support? What do you think that might be? Well, because I'm teaching sales, I want them to have money to manage, right? I want them to have money so that they feel comfortable, they can travel when they want to travel, and they do what they want to do. And I think that it all depends on what your business is.
Yes.
Like for you, Luci, you might say, how are you doing? Whatever, because you're on the financial side, but not really in the market. You're helping people with their money. So what is a question you would ask me?
One of the questions that I would ask you is, how do you really feel about money when somebody has a Rolls Royce and they're flashing all this dollars around? How does that make you feel?
Okay, so that's an awesome question. But you have to get there, right?
Yes.
From somewhere. Okay. Yes. So if you're working with, it depends on your target market. That's another thing we talk about in Compel Don't Sell. What is your target market? And if you are talking to entrepreneurs, say, because I don't know your target market, but just say you're talking to our entrepreneurs, you could ask them the same question I ask. How are you doing with your business? Tell me about that. And how does it feel to you when somebody else is doing really well with their business and you're not doing so well? You know, what if I could show you a way that you could glean so much more income and be just like them? What if I could do that? Would that be good for you? You see?
Mm-hmm.
You just asked them a question. See how you're nodding your head yes? You get 3
Absolutely.
yeses and you set the next appointment.
That's fabulous. I mean, that showing that example right there is perfect. And it really shows the women who are listening to this and the cool men. We have cool entrepreneur men that, this process can be easy
It's
and
very
it can flow just like that. And that's so important for ease and with grace, with your business, with your coaching, with what you do, so that you can bring your message out into the world.
exactly. And it's all about being authentic. That's so
Yes.
important. Because if we're trying to remember scripts, it's
Mm-hmm.
not going to happen because it's not coming from your heart. It just isn't going to happen. And people will know. And I mean, think about many of these realtors. I'm sorry to say this, but because I've been a realtor for over 28 years, I
Mm-hmm.
know what we're taught. This is, you never are supposed to go without having a sales conversation. Everything has to be a sales conversation, but nobody wants to be sold.
Mm-hmm.
We live in a different world nowadays, and they'd love to be lifted up, but they don't want to be sold. So if you are in a constant hard sell, and you're pressured to do a hard sell, that's going to be the hardest thing in the world for you. I feel
That's
sorry for the
true.
people who work with MLMs because it's all pressure.
Mm-hmm.
And they tell them how to do it, and then they quit, right? They've got such a huge turnover because there's nothing authentic about it. It's not the real them, and they don't know how to relate.
Mm-hmm. That's really true. That is so true. And we're going to be wrapping it up in just a little while. But when you were talking about in the beginning, you're first starting out, you're running around, you're giving all your business cards, you're running to all these networking meetings, you're doing all this. But when it comes to making sales, how do we open that sales door, that sales conversation when we're networking? Or let's say we're just at an event and we're talking with other individuals, because our clients are truly all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
How do you open that door real quick?
Well, you have to find, just like the questions I was just sharing with you,
Mm-hmm.
you have to, let me rephrase. It's not about how many cards you walk away with. It's about the quality of the cards you walk away with.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have a conversation that is viable and somebody that you really think you can work with, then when you ask for their card, they're going to ask for yours as well. And a little tip I like to use is don't put anything on the back of your card. Make it easy to write on. And I'll tell you why is because if I get a whole bunch of cards, like all these, you see these here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If I haven't written on them, I don't know what I'm going to talk to these people about. And in your step 2, you must know what to talk to them about. So I just will walk up to somebody and go, hey, how are you? I'm Shirlene. And then they'll introduce themselves and I'll say, do you have a business or what are you doing nowadays? And they'll say, no, I'm an employee or I work for such and so corporation. Those aren't my people, are they? I don't teach people that are corporate people, so I just know right away that's not my person. But they might know somebody. So I might give them some time based on who they know, and then I'll move to the next person. And I make it very short. I never spend more than about 3 minutes max with any one person. And the funny thing is they'll come back to me afterward at the end of whatever the event is. But the one thing I want to cue you in on is don't go to any event that is not in your target market, because you're throwing your money down the tubes and your time is your money, right?
Yes. That is so incredibly true. And I've definitely discovered that. And in navigating and finding out where your your audience really is
Yes.
important. So, Shirley, we have just a few more moments. Could you tell us a little bit about your gift that you have for individuals,
Sure.
and how can they get a hold of you, and what do they need to know?
Well, you can get a hold of me by emailing me if you want to at sreeves@maximizeyourwealthnow.com. Or you can go online, and I think, Lucy, you're going to put something there that gives them the link so they can go on
Yes.
and take the Compel Don't Sell quiz. You'll enjoy that. It doesn't take very
Mhm.
long, it's only 12 little questions. And you also get my 10 secret tips, my sales tips. And I think you'll find them very interesting because other people don't give out these secret tips. So that's what I'd love to offer you, and I think that you'll really enjoy it. And if you want to take Compel Don't Sell, please reach out to me. As I said, I only take 10 people at a time, and it's very important that I give them enough time, and they go in Zoom rooms and work on what I teach them, and we have a lot of fun together, actually. And there's a lot of testimonials on my website that you can look at for people who've already taken it because they're making lots of money.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Absolutely.
Really
Well,
awesome.
I will definitely have the links posted below, so please make sure you read through the description so that you can click on the link so that you can take the quick little quiz and get the sales tips. Ooh, that's very, very juicy. And then, make sure that you go to her email and let her know, hey, you might be interested, but definitely take the quiz.
Yes, take the quiz. You'll have fun doing it. It'll only take you
Mhm.
10 minutes. If it takes you longer than that, you're thinking too hard.
Good to know. 10 minutes will save you a lot.
Yes, that's right. That's right. And if you don't like to ask for money and sales isn't your thing, then you might want to consider it and come in and learn how to sell and start making money right away. That's the best thing about
Absolutely. Wow, this has been so phenomenal. You have given us tips on, what to say in networking meetings, on how to approach other individuals, on what really makes the difference between selling and compelling
it. Mhm.
and moving forward. This has been so phenomenal. Thank you for being on this show. I'm so excited that you've taken time out of your schedule.
Well,
Is
thanks for
there
having me, Lucy. It's been wonderful being here with you. I've enjoyed it.
Fabulous. Is there any last thing you would like to leave our audience with before we wrap it up?
The last thing I'd like to leave you with is don't give up on yourself. Just don't give up. Take one step at a time and get through that step before you move on to the next one. And sales is imperative. There's just nothing you can do. If you don't have your sales techniques down, you won't be here in 18 months. And I really want to see you. I look forward to seeing you out in the field.
That's beautiful. So thank you.
You're welcome.
And I would like to thank my audience. I am so grateful that you are listening to this every single week. I love the emails. I am so excited when you post on our Facebook at facebook.com/Wealthy Wednesday Show. And I am so excited to be bringing you these incredible guests. So if you have any questions, contact me on my website at lucimcmonagle.com. And I will see you next week. Abundant blessings. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Wealthy Wednesday Show. This is your host, Luci McMonagle, and I would love to keep in touch with you by giving you a very special gift that will help you move your business and your life forward. You can access this special gift I am giving to you at my website at lucimcmonagle.com. That's LUCIMCMONAGLE.com for keeping in touch with me and getting access to a gift that will help you move your business and life forward. Until next time, abundant blessings.